Hello again. I am near Riverside. It is cold as shit. Was actually resting from work Saturday. Trying really hard to beat a StarCraft game while still being harassed by Antifa through the ceiling, but at this point they're tricks, bullshit. It's very cyclical. I was going to continue this story. I was going to get at the part where I start working for a company called Corporate Concepts. So, how does this go? So it goes, I want a job, right? I forget. I don't even remember what year it was, to be honest with you. It was probably like something like 2015, something like that. And I apply for many jobs, and my career is in public relations and advertising. So, I'm thinking, I'll get a job in sales. I'll get a job in customer service, and I apply for this job at a place called Lakeview Advertising. And if I remember correctly, it's run by a woman named Maria. But I get the job, essentially. And I find out I won't be working directly for Maria. Makes sense. It's a big company. It's down by Wall Street. You can probably still look it up. I'm like, okay. You'll be working for this lady, Nicole. Okay. Then I find out I'm not working for Lakeview. I'm working for this, subsidiary, this other company called Corporate Concepts. Under Nicole. It's really Nicole's company. It's like, okay. Whatever. Next thing I know, before, essentially, not even, it feels like it's my first day of work. It may as well have been my first day of work, but essentially the moment I get the job, that company moves from by Wall Street up in White Plains. So I end up having to go every day to White Plains to an office. To get this, what I did was I used to go door to door selling Verizon Fios. So I would, through the Bronx. So I would go on a bus to 125th Central between West and East. And I would take the train north, the Metro North, up to White Plains. Then I would do the preparation for the day. The preparation and go door to door through the Bronx with Nicole and whoever she had on board at the time. She had this really trusty, let's say, second in command named Christina Galeotto, who I was quite attracted to, who I had a very, very big crush on. And I had broken up with Stacy. I wasn't with Stacy at this point. And what ends up happening is, well, it's not easy going door to door selling Verizon Fios through the Bronx. But I do it, and I learn a lot about people and ice breaking and all that, and sales. And it's a great job. Well, what's notable about this? Nicole and Christina were a little weird. And there were things that made me think, well, maybe they're trying to stunt my development in this. Sometimes I thought, maybe our chemistry just isn't perfect, and so it makes sales kind of screw up sometimes. Maybe I thought, are they just trying to disrupt me? Or is this like a subconscious thing? It is what it is. I don't know. Can't prove much. It doesn't really matter. So at the end, some notable things happen. Two which are just obvious, and one which is going to lead into another episode next week. So, a guy comes by. So every week we interview new people. And I'm working there, so I'm one of the people that conducts interviews sometimes, and we're going door to door. The first interview really, or the second, I think it's the second interview. It's like 2 interviews and then you're hired. And the second interview, they take you door to door without telling you they're taking you door to door. And one of the many people that I took door to door for, at the very least, an interview, to show them what we did and how it was done and what was necessary to do the job, if they even want to do the job on commission. It was on commission. One day, a guy named Noel came by. And he was young. I don't remember how young he was, but I guess looking back, he would have had to have been about 16, 17, but he claimed to have sales experience, and Nicole gave him a shining review for seemingly no reason. And then there was Eliza. So Eliza, Nicole, the boss, was like, oh, she's really attractive, and Nicole was attracted to women. Okay, this is what it is. Great person, Nicole, to be honest with you, in general. So Eliza was being trained while this guy Noel was on his second interview. This turns out to be Noel Goldstein later, okay? This turns out to be one of the Antifa we're talking about. So Noel has a lot of, let's say, confidence, especially for a young man. I see, at the time, especially, by myself and him, I was like, he's clearly gotten ahead of himself. There's no way he has any experience in sales, but he has confidence. He's trying, and he can still do it. He can do it, and if he doesn't do anything wrong, and it doesn't matter that he's kind of full of shit. It doesn't, when I was young, I was a little full of shit, but you power through, and if you really want to get something done, and you just buckle down, and you go, I didn't come here to be full of shit. The thing is that before the interview ends, towards the end of the night, I'm training Eliza in front of him. He's going through the interview, and he's dealing with what we have to deal with, going door to door. Everything's going okay, It seems a little bit like he's trying to get Eliza's attention, and Eliza's more rationally, interested in getting trained by me to keep the job and all that. And before the end of the night, Noel, I don't even remember, because obviously the conversation was just small talk. I was focusing on work, going door to door trying to make money, and this fucker brings up drugs, and he brings up not drinking, alcohol or weed. He brings up Adderall. He doesn't say Adderall, he says Addies. He goes, I popped some Addies earlier. And I was like, oh my god, it is a job interview. Not we're friends, and he's been there a couple of days, a couple of weeks maybe. He's trying to get comfortable, or he's already comfortable or something. It's a job interview. He's flirting to a degree with the person being trained, and then when he's not really getting the attention he wants, he goes hey, this disorienting drug, I take that casually. This is a job interview, right? And it's holy shit. So a week later, I think it is, his sister, Lisa, a little younger than him, comes to try the job as well. There were no problems. There were no problems. I'm not even sure exactly what happened with that, actually, because a week or so later, actually, I believe what happened was Eliza was like, look, I have all these gummies. You want these gummies? I'm like, okay, I'll take some gummies. And she gave me the gummies, and kept the gummies in my sleeve. The gummies were in, not a transparent wrapper. At one point they fell out of my sleeve. I don't know what person thought of it, but Nicole fired me, that week. And I was like, okay, I'd been there for a few. It wasn't easy going door to door on commission. Kind of felt stifled, but I had learned quite a bit about sales. I was like, okay, and that's about it, actually, in terms of notable things that happen at Corporate Concepts. Now there's going to be kind of a sequel, because a couple of things happened after, because I was quite depressed. But it gets better and worse after that at the same time, sort of. And then later I end up getting back with Stacy again, but that's afterwards. And this has gone on long enough. I've ranted quite a bit. Thanks for listening. Thanks for dealing with me. Have a good Monday. See you soon. Bye.